Hello friends, in this lesson we are going to study triggers. So the logic is that if the industry is education, then we need to populate description or we can update some of the fields by triggers. Like if the field industry is not null and then it is education, then we can write a description or we can change the rating of populate the rating as we want. So for this, let's go to our developer console, and then as you know, just to make it faster, remember that if you are working with triggers, and triggers are by default they are active. This is one thing you should know, just a quick reminder. And triggers, when you are working with triggers, is best practice. You create a handler class for that trigger. You write the codes here, logic methods here, and then you call with triggers. As you can see, it is very short. Even this part is not needed, this else part. I can remove this part even. So if you are working with triggers, it's best practice is to create your now in this lesson we are going to study before insert and after insert. So my trigger, the trigger name, it can be anything, should be related to your trigger, and then it is account. So for after that, whatever like context variable you work on it, so you must type here. If you write here and then you don't write here, it will not work. Before insert and after insert. If so, in this way, what I want to do is before insert and after insert. If trigger is insert and trigger is before, these two you can type here also, like doesn't matter, nested if we are using here. And then after, if it is before and after insert and before, then you can call this class name, handler class name, and then your method, and then you create a new list. Else trigger after, then another code. But I am sure like our trigger is insert and before. That's why. And handler class, as you can see, what we do here, this is our handler class name, and then we create we write public static void my method. This is my method, and in my method I create a list and then call it new list. So this new list will be created. For loop, then we have for loop, and then account acc new list. This new list we take here, iterate, and then I write my if logic. First is for loop, then in for loop we write our if logic. If acc, this new list acc, is industry is not equal to null and acc industry equals to education, then what to do? Then I want, when it is not null, if it is null and then if it is education, no, if it is null, then it won't execute. So if it is not null and then it is education, then ACC rating will be hot, and then ACC description, it will be like description for this education will be important customer. But for each and every, industry, you can write a logic. It's fine. So if it is this condition, then do this. Otherwise, maybe if you want, if it is, I will copy this one here. Else, I will do both examples. This If it is ordinary customer, if it is industry, it is education, then it is rating will be hot, and then its description will be important customer. If it is else other than this, it can be cold or warm, or it can be hot and then ordinary customer, doesn't matter, as you wish. And if you want to update other fields, it is also populate other fields, it is also fine. Now just Control S, save these changes, and then my trigger is active by default. Now I am going to my org and then create a new account, and then my account name, let's say a brand name Dell company. For Dell company, I'm not going to fill in rating. It will populate automatically. As you can see, account industry. I will put education. Then let's see description and go to details. As you can see, rating will be hot, and then the industry, education, and description is important customer, as you can see. Now if I'm going to create a new account, then let's say HP company. Then I will put HP biotechnology communication, let's say. Then save it and then check. HP, it is cold, as you can see, and then ordinary customer. Another example, if it is null, there's null, another Toshiba, and then it is, if industry is null, then let's see what happens. It is called an ordinary customer. If it is not, means what I want is it shouldn't be null. Actually, if it is not, if it is education, then it will be hot and it will be important customer. But for each and every type of industry, you can have different option. So this was a short lesson how to do it. Just quick reminder. First we create trigger on account, and then before insert, after insert, but we use before insert. Even if I remove this one and this one here, it doesn't change. Then if trigger is insert and before, then call my method, and in my method I have the list trigger.new. This trigger.new list, it has a collection of new account on subjects accounts. So for this we have our class, and then we create an inner class, and then my method, and then for method I create a for loop account is new list, and then if industry is not null, and then industry is education, it then ACC rating will be hot as this. You can write more logic here. Another if else if a education is, industry is not null and industry is media, then give another something like that. So this way we can populate some of the fields by using triggers, executing them. Thank you very much. I wish you Have a good day.